It was supposed to be a cheerful morning on Lorraine, ITV's long-running talk show known for its light-hearted interviews and friendly atmosphere. But what unfolded between Lorraine Kelly and Simon Cowell quickly turned into one of the most talked-about moments in British morning television. Simon Cowell, the notoriously blunt and confident TV mogul, had come on the show to promote a new season of Britain's Got Talent and talk about his rumored return to the X Factor. Lorraine Kelly, ever the warm but sharp interviewer, greeted him with her usual charm. However, within minutes, their exchange began to take a tense turn. Lorraine started by asking about Simon's softer side, referring to his recent lifestyle changes, including his healthy diet and family time with his son, Eric. Simon laughed and replied, "I'm not sure, soft is the right word, Lorraine. I've just realized I can't work 24 hours a day anymore." Everything seemed fine, until Lorraine asked a question that clearly hit a nerve. "Do you ever think your tough judging style might have gone too far sometimes? Some people say you've made contestants cry just for entertainment." Simon's smile faded. "Lorraine," he said sharply, "that's such a media-driven narrative. I don't make people cry. I just tell the truth. If people can't handle criticism, they shouldn't be in showbiz." Lorraine, known for her polite persistence, pressed on, "But Simon, surely there's a difference between being honest and being cruel. Some of those moments have been quite harsh, don't you think?" Simon crossed his arms, visibly irritated. "You know, Lorraine, it's funny. You journalists love to take one clip out of context and turn it into a drama. Maybe if you'd actually been on one of my shows, you'd understand how it works." The audience in the studio shifted uncomfortably. Lorraine's smile tightened. "Oh, I understand perfectly well, Simon," she replied. "I just think there's a human side that sometimes gets lost in all the ratings and headlines." Simon leaned forward, his voice colder now. "And I think there's a difference between interviewing someone and judging them. You're not exactly innocent when it comes to making people uncomfortable on live TV either, are you?" There was a stunned silence. Lorraine blinked, caught off guard. "Excuse me," she said. "You heard me," Simon continued. "You've made your fair share of awkward moments happen for the sake of views. Don't act like I'm the only one who pushes buttons." Lorraine's professionalism faltered for a second, and then she regained her composure. "Simon, this isn't about me. This is about you and the way the public sees your approach." "Well," Simon said, smirking slightly, "maybe the public should stop believing everything they see on morning TV." That comment drew a few gasps from the audience. Lorraine looked visibly upset now. "If you're going to be disrespectful, Simon, perhaps we should end this interview." "Fine by me," Simon shot back, standing up from his seat. "I didn't come here to be lectured. I came here to talk about my work." Lorraine tried to maintain calm as the producers scrambled behind the cameras. "We're just having a conversation, Simon," she said firmly. But Simon wasn't listening. "You call this a conversation? It's an ambush. I've had tougher interviews from angry contestants." At that moment, Lorraine looked toward the director, who was gesturing to cut to an ad break. "All right," she said, her tone frosty, "we'll take a short break." "Simon Cowell, thank you for your time." Simon gave a curt nod and muttered, "You're welcome," before walking off the set. The audience didn't clap, just watched silently as he disappeared backstage. When the show returned after the commercial, Lorraine appeared visibly shaken but composed. "Well," she said with a small, awkward laugh, "that was unexpected. Sometimes live TV doesn't go as planned." Social media erupted within minutes. Clips of the exchange were uploaded to X, formerly Twitter, and TikTok, with users debating who was in the wrong. Some defended Simon, saying Lorraine was too intrusive, while others criticized him for being arrogant and disrespectful. ITV's press office later released a brief statement saying, Simon Cowell's appearance on Lorraine ended earlier than planned due to scheduling issues. But everyone knew that was just PR talk. Insiders leaked that Simon had stormed out of the building, furious at being set up with personal questions instead of the promotional interview he expected. Lorraine, however, reportedly told colleagues she stood by her professionalism, and that sometimes strong personalities just clash. By the afternoon, the video had millions of views, and hashtags like #SimonStorms and #Lorraine vs Simon were trending across platforms. What really caused Simon's temper to flare? Was it genuine frustration, or just another publicity stunt? The fallout from Simon Cowell's dramatic walkout on Lorraine didn't end when the cameras stopped rolling, it was only the beginning. Just hours after the show aired, entertainment headlines across the UK exploded. Simon Cowell storms off live TV. Lorraine Kelly left speechless after fiery clash. Simon Cowell vs. Lorraine Kelly, the morning show meltdown. Clips of the argument went viral. Some viewers called it cringeworthy, others labeled it iconic TV gold. Within a few hours, social media was divided into two camps, Team Simon and Team Lorraine. On X, formerly Twitter, one user wrote, "Greater than, Lorraine was only doing her job. Simon can't take criticism but loves giving it. Hypocrisy at its finest." Another countered, "Greater than, Lorraine was out of line. Simon's been in the business for decades. He doesn't owe anyone a soft interview." Meanwhile, ITV's producers were reportedly in chaos. The segment had been carefully planned as a major publicity push for Britain's Got Talent, but Simon's abrupt exit turned it into a PR nightmare. According to insiders, producers tried to calm him backstage, but Simon refused to return, saying he wouldn't tolerate being ambushed on national television. Lorraine, on the other hand, handled it like the professional she is. After the cameras stopped rolling for the morning, she reportedly sighed, sipped her tea, and said to the crew, "Well, that was something." She later told colleagues she felt disappointed, because she had always respected Simon's work and didn't expect such hostility. Later that afternoon, Simon was spotted leaving ITV studios, wearing his trademark sunglasses and a stone-cold expression. Paparazzi surrounded him, shouting questions. "Simon, do you regret walking out? Are you going to apologize to Lorraine? Was it all staged?" Simon ignored them and got into his car, muttering to his assistant, "Let them talk. They always do." But the story didn't die down. By evening, several talk shows picked up the incident. Piers Morgan even commented on Talk TV, saying, "Simon Cowell's always been outspoken, but walking off Lorraine. That's bold. You've got to have a thick skin in this business. I've had clashes myself, but I always finish the segment." The next morning, Lorraine addressed the controversy briefly on her show. With her usual calm tone, she said, "Greater than, yesterday's interview with Simon Cowell didn't go as planned. Live television can be unpredictable, and sometimes people react differently under pressure. I've always admired Simon's achievements, and I wish him the best." Her graceful response earned her praise from fans, who admired how she handled the situation without fueling more drama. However, behind the scenes, ITV executives were reportedly concerned. Some feared that Simon might refuse to work with the network again. Others believed the clash had actually boosted public interest. Britain's Got Talent was trending again, and viewership for Lorraine's show had spiked overnight. A week later, Simon broke his silence in a short statement to The Sun. "Greater than, look, Lorraine's lovely, but it got tense. I was tired, overworked, and probably too defensive. I've got no hard feelings, these things happen on live TV." Lorraine later responded with a smile during a different segment. "Greater than, I'm glad Simon and I can move past it. He's always welcome back, maybe next time we'll stick to lighter topics." Their playful back and forth seemed to calm the storm, and fans even began calling for a reunion interview to patch things up publicly. Ironically, the clash that had begun as a PR disaster ended up reigniting interest in both of them. Simon's show saw a ratings bump, and Lorraine's program experienced its highest viewership in months. Some media critics even suggested that the whole incident might have been staged, a carefully planned publicity stunt. But those who knew Lorraine best swore it was real. One ITV staffer said, "Lorraine doesn't fake emotions. What you saw was genuine tension. But credit to her, she handled it better than anyone could." As for Simon, he later joked during a podcast appearance, "Lorraine Kelly, tougher judge than I've ever been." In the end, what started as a heated argument turned into one of the most memorable TV moments of the year. It reminded everyone why live television still has the power to shock, divide, and entertain millions in real time. And though neither Simon nor Lorraine may ever admit it, that fiery clash might have given them both exactly what they wanted: attention, ratings, and a headline that no one would forget.